Hey everyone, it's Craig from Flying Wheels. Welcome to my Flying Wheels YouTube channel. Today and yesterday I had the absolute pleasure of test driving a 2020 Porsche Macan. Not a Macan S, unfortunately, not a Macan GTS. It is the Macan, but I'm still loving the car. I'm going to give you a full review. So if you're ever in the mood for maybe test driving one, or maybe in the market to purchase something like this, or the Volkswagen Tiguan, or the Audi Q5, I'm going to give you the options, the differences, go through the whole car, and give you all of my thoughts on the 2020 Porsche Macan. So the 2020 Porsche Macan is a crossover SUV. This is your compact sport. It is an athletic car. It is a sports car SUV. Crossover meaning it's on kind of a car frame. It's not very rugged, not very durable, but it is a sports car slash SUV, which makes it the crossover. Now this is the sister car. I'm going to call it the sister car, not the brother car, the twin, because it is a little feminine, it is a little girly, being a compact sports SUV. It is the sister car to the Audi Q5 and the Volkswagen Tiguan. The Volkswagen Tiguan would be like your entry-level budget car, then your Q5 is your everyday luxury car, and then this Porsche is the premium, the flagship car of that class. Two features that really stood out to me, if you come close right here, I noticed this body line right here and I couldn't figure out what for. So I was thinking, pan out again. So I was thinking maybe like some Porsches, the hood folds forward. It doesn't. It's a completely separate body panel and the hood opens over the headlights. So the headlights are stationary and they plug right into the... Underneath the hood is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which is the same 2.0 turbo that you find in the Volkswagen CC, the Passat, some Jettas, A4s, the Tiguan, and the Q5. One feature that took me a little while to figure out was how to open the trunk. It is completely flush. There are no buttons, there are no levers, there are no handles. So it took me a few minutes to figure out where the trunk opener was. And it's on the wiper. So I thought that was kind of a neat feature of the car. Another neat feature too is that each of these seats close individually. So typically it's a 60-40 split. Well, you have a 33-33-33 split. Each seat folds down separately. Obviously you have the center console with cup holders as well, and another great feature is a leather and suede combination, and this really shows the name Porsche because it's a standout feature in this car. As soon as I got in, I really felt like I was in something with class, something with luxury, and still sport. The rear seats are heated as well as the front, obviously. Temperature controls for the rear, as well as USB ports all over the car. So no more cigarette outlets. They finally figured that problem out. Everything has a USB port. What I do like is Porsche stuck with the car-shaped featured key, so it is in the shape of the car. Lock, unlock, trunk open, and then still left side of the steering column to start the vehicle. You'll see the huge infotainment display. The 2020 in the Macan S. Let's have it stop beeping at us first. The 2020 Porsche Macan S comes with Apple CarPlay. Everything's Bluetooth, obviously. Everything is push button, so we can control the car from here. We can control our phone. Vehicle climate controls are doubled down, so you have all your vehicle climate controls up here as well as down here. So I can turn the temperature, driver's side, passenger side. I can sync both sides. I can crank the AC to max. It is an electronic parking brake like most Audi and Porsches. We have our heated seats here. We have an off-road, traction control, and sport package. The sunroof is a panoramic sunroof that goes all the way back behind the passenger's rear seats. One push gets the sunshade. There's a second button that if I push will vent the sunroof. And then I can also push it back, automatically opens the sunroof all the way back with our windscreen so we're not getting too much road noise. Leather wrap steering wheel, obviously. What I noticed on the Macan is it's not a heated steering wheel. Maybe I've been spoiled by the option of having a heated steering wheel, but in New Hampshire it's been freezing cold last night and this morning. I would have preferred to have the heated steering wheel. The chrome or billet aluminum Center steering is pretty neat, as well as the paddle shifters are all billet aluminum too. On a 4-cylinder turbo, you'd expect to have some turbo lag, which I haven't really noticed. And it is a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. It's peppy, it has some boost, and it's a good time even in the base model. There's a lot going on in front of me and to the side of me and to the right of me. So the instrument cluster, even though there's so much going on, I can see the temperature control, the oil temperature control, the oil pressure, a clock, a gas gauge. I have what gear I'm shifting in. I have the speed, and then digitally it tells me my speed and mileage. There's a lot happening right in front of me, but it doesn't seem too much. I can still see what's going on, and I don't feel lost in the entire instrument cluster. Here we have our phone controls, volume controls right at my thumb, which is an easy toggle. Volume up and down, so rather than pushing the button up and down over and over, I just scroll it up, and then I can do it on my right side for the phone as well. I can switch channels, I can switch to my phone, I can switch to navigation if you can get right there. So kind of a neat feature now is the navigation is showing up right on my instrument cluster. As I scroll with my thumb, it changes. Now over to the infotainment center, there's a lot happening on this gigantic panel, and I can go to media, change from my XM radio over to my phone, and there are apps installed, so it'll tell me my weather, my news, gas stations, local parking, anything that I need is right here, as well as an online Google search. Now a lot of this is a paid subscription, so you can get your data purchased for the vehicle so your whole family can use their tablets while in the car. Another thing I noticed in the all-wheel drive system is that it has a torque split. So there's actually a gauge on the dash that will tell me how much torque goes to the front wheels versus the rear wheels based on how much pressure I put on the car and the traction that it needs front versus rear. So the 2020 Porsche Macan comes in 3 variations. It comes in the Macan base model, the Macan S, and then the GTS. The Macan that we're driving as tested is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 248 horsepower. The Macan S comes in a V6 and a 7-speed automatic transmission, which is what this is too. This is a 7-speed automatic all-wheel drive. The Macan S has 348 base horsepower, and then the GTS version is a 2.9-liter V6 that makes 375 horsepower and 383 foot-pounds of torque. That one comes with the optional Apple CarPlay, and these options are significantly more money. Now, when you judge the Macan, 3 variations of the Macan, the S and the GTS, the base price, what we're driving today, has a base price of $52,250. The S is $60,750, so it's about $8,000 difference to bump up to the S. And then when you get into the GTS model, it's $72,000. So there's a $72,000 upgrade going from what we're driving tested all the way up to the GTS. Is it worth the $20,000? That I don't know, because I haven't driven the GTS, but I do know at the $52,000 price tag, this is a lot of car. Now, I mentioned earlier, this is the sister car to the Audi Q5 and the Volkswagen Tiguan. The Volkswagen Tiguan would be like your very entry-level car, but it comes with leather, it comes with heated seats, it can get a sunroof package if you want it, but that's your walk-in car base model, and you start building from there, and it's still just a Volkswagen. But now we're talking about a Porsche, which is kind of still just a Volkswagen. It's a glorified Volkswagen. So the Volkswagen Tiguan has a base price of $24,995, so about $25,000 with 184 horsepower. Then you can step it up to the Audi Q5. The Audi Q5 comes with the same 2.0 turbo. This 2.0 turbo is used in the Volkswagen CC, the Volkswagen Jetta, and Passats. You can get it in the Audi A4. It may be available in the Audi A6 and A5s. It is available in the A5s. The Audi Q5, same engine, 2.0T, has 284 horsepower, and if you get it in the SQ5 package, which is similar to the Macan S, that would be like the oranges to oranges package, would be 52.9, tested 52.9 and 349 horsepower. Here's a 2020 Audi Q5. There is the SQ5, and this is their new e-tron electronic Q5. So the SQ5, which is their S package, is tested around 52, and the Macan S is 60,750. So there's an $8,000 difference going from the SQ5 to the Macan S. Here's the Macan S, so you can see the difference. Wheels are actually identical. Body looks almost identical. Front end slightly different. There's a slight variation in front. It's a little bit lower, I think. Oh no, it's the same. It's just that it's black. It's the same look, same appearance, different engine. different options. And there is a 2017 GTS, which looks incredibly similar to just the regular Macan base model. Everything's almost the same, just engine differences and then options on the interior. Now typically, I've owned 911s, I've had a lot of Porsches, and driving them around, I feel slightly, I don't know the right word, and if I say the right word, it probably won't be appropriate anyway. I do feel like it's over the top. So if I'm driving a 911 turbo around, I feel like it's over the top. If I'm driving even a base model 911, I feel like I have something to prove. Something like this, it's a nice car with style, it has class, it has a nice, beautiful front end, and it's a comfortable ride with luxury options. I don't feel over the top driving something like this. So if you're in the market for a Porsche, but you don't really feel like you want that Porsche name to be carried around, you don't want to show up in a Porsche, I don't feel that driving this car. I feel like I'm driving just a really nice car without something to prove, because it's still just kind of an entry-level Porsche that has everything you'd ever want for a car. The LED touchscreen is almost 11 inches, so it's a giant screen, easily accessible. I don't feel lost in the dash. 10-speaker audio system, LED headlights. There's lighting everywhere at night, so every button, everywhere, I can still find. It was easily accessible, again, without getting lost throughout the entire car. Premium package, even though this doesn't have the premium package, it's just their base model, it's still a premium vehicle, and I feel like I have a premium package. I'm not losing anything. There's nothing that I need that this car doesn't have. So although this is the 2.0T, it still has some pep, it still has some boost. When you get into the Macan S at 348 horsepower and their twin turbo 6-cylinder, it goes from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, which is faster than both the Audi SQ5, even though it's a sister car, as well as the Jaguar F-Pace Type S, which is Jaguar's mid-sized to compact SUV sports car. I'm averaging between 19 and 23 miles per gallon. From what I read, the Macan S gets 1 mile per gallon less. So to get a twin turbo 6-cylinder with 100 more horsepower, you're only losing 1 mile per gallon. So as far as warranty goes, I was pretty impressed with what warranty Porsche offers. When you think of Ford and Chevy and GM, they have a powertrain warranty of typically 3 years, 30,000 miles. Porsche has a limited and powertrain warranty for 4 years and 50,000 miles. Complimentary maintenance for a year and 10,000 miles. So the first year and 10,000 miles, they cover all their maintenance, which is nice because the first year or so you want to make sure all those regular scheduled maintenance is up to date. The longer you maintain your car, obviously the longer the car's going to last, especially the preventative maintenance at the very beginning. Now you're going to get that Porsche price tag at the service shop. I have 2 Porsches there right now for items that I can fix at my shop for under $1,000 each. I got 3 separate prices, each one for over $3,500. So $3,500 in repairs at the Porsche dealer versus under $1,000 for stuff I can do at my shop or have a specialist take care of at their own shop. So you are getting the Porsche price tag when it comes to repairs. That's something to consider. Now, a lot of these cars are similar to Volkswagen, a lot of Volkswagen parts. The Cayenne S Turbo that I have at the shop at the dealer has an air ride suspension, the same as the Volkswagen Touareg. Now I can take my Cayenne S Turbo to the Volkswagen dealer and have a Volkswagen tech do the air ride suspension because it's the same as the Volkswagen Touareg, and pay Volkswagen labor and Volkswagen parts in my Porsche. So that's also something to consider when buying a Porsche. It's still a Volkswagen. It's still an Audi. Those cars can get maintained at any of the 3 dealers as well. Something I'm noticing for probably the first thing of this car that really I'm not a fan of, the visor, the sunshade is just wrapped in vinyl, like really cheap. This feels like a Volkswagen part, as well as the clip right here. I feel like this clip could very easily break. And then the headliner is just like a cheap fabric. Again, very Volkswagen. So I feel like this and this is Volkswagen parts, not so much Porsche, which I'm sure you're getting in the Macan S and the GTS. I'm sure you're getting a better headliner and a better visor. It doesn't extend over, so I have the sun still glaring in my eyes. And this just feels flimsy, like it's gonna break. You do get the vanity mirror, so a lot of base model cars don't come with a vanity mirror. I would expect it to in a car like this, especially for $50,000. But again, it does feel just a little cheap and flimsy. Another thing that I can say positively about this vehicle is the gas mileage. So we're in New Hampshire. We picked up the car from the Porsche dealer. We're approximately 30 miles away. I drove home and back to my shop 4 or 5 times. So I probably put 100 plus miles on this car in 24 hours. And we filled it up to bring it back on a full tank. $10. It cost us $10 to fill it up. So gas mileage, fuel range, fuel economy, impressed with. Would have loved to have test driven the Macan S and the GTS. I think they would have been way more fun, but I was completely satisfied with the Macan base model. The base model, it says base model, but there are so many options that it shows the value in luxury, comfort, and sport. I loved the car. Potential buyers for the car, not so much a younger generation because there's a lot of maintenance to cover, a lot of maintenance expenses to cover, and it's a high cost up front, so stick with the Tiguan or the Q5. Who's gonna buy that Porsche Macan? Single man or a woman with kids out of the house because you don't want to make a mess out of that thing. A little bit of money in your pocket. I see the value at $58,000. I probably see the value in the $60,000 Macan S too. That car was a lot of fun, a lot of class. It was nice to drive everywhere comfortably, had plenty of storage if I didn't have kids. Again, if I didn't have kids, if you're just sticking stuff in the trunk, it was a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks for watching my videos. I'll see you later, everybody. Adios.